bonitas, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a requested review and demo tutorial on the new Maybelline Super Stay Foundation. This is the new 30-hour foundation. Se ve así. We're gonna put this on esta carita and see how this wears for the entire day. I'll let you know my thoughts, whether I think this is worth your cash or not. So please continue watching, bonitas. So before we start with the foundation, I am going to put on the primer. The new Maybelline Jelly Primer is what we're going to be using today to prep our makeup. And I'm just going to be applying it on to one side of the face so you can see the difference that this does create. It gives a really pretty blurring effect, and it also does a beautiful job of creating longevity for your makeup. It also is a very hydrating consistency, and it kind of has this really nice cooling effect. Very comparable to those high-end grip primers, which I love because we love anything we can find on a budget that you could also find for high-end. So I do want to read a little bit about this foundation. I did purchase mine from Amazon. This does retail for around $11. And this is a light as air makeup feel. Super Stay up to 30-hour Lumi matte foundation delivers buildable full coverage that lasts todo el día, all day. You achieve a flawless base that feels like nothing on the skin. Say goodbye to flat looking skin and look lit from within. It's also long wearing, and I like the fact that it delivers that matte finish, but it has a hint of luminosity because we want a little bit of the matte effect, but we don't want it to look completely matte and flat where it just looks like you're wearing like a heavy layer of makeup on the skin. You can see it is a liquidy formula, and it has just a very lightweight effect. Now the shade that I did pick up was the shade 250, and I'm just gonna go in right here. You can see that pigmentation is really nice. As it goes onto the skin, it does feel very lightweight. As always, I'm going to be doing one side with a sponge and another side with a brush. So I'm going to be starting off on the sponge side. We're going to be melting that into the skin. The sponge is damp, so it is going to absorb any of that extra foundation that may just be laying on top. This really allows to push the product into the skin to really give you a becomes one with the skin type of effect and feel. Looking so nice. It's definitely covering up that redness, so if you have things that you want to cover on the complexion, it will do a beautiful job of covering that up without it looking like too much makeup on the skin. So it has a great finish, beautiful coverage. It doesn't look too matte, but it doesn't look radiant. Go in with a little bit more just so that we can see how this builds up. And I'm gonna take it here. I really wish you guys could feel this consistency because it's truly so lightweight. Look at that. It builds up very nice on the skin, bonitas. Doesn't look cakey at all. Without with. I also feel like this color is a perfect match if you are around my complexion. I would definitely recommend this color. This is definitely my perfect fit for the winter time. In the spring, summer, I would definitely go a shade up, but this matches really well. Okay, so there are 24 shades of this foundation. So this is supposed to be a sweat, water, and transfer for all day shine control. Resistant. So now we're gonna move on to the other side, and on this side we are going to be using a brush. So again, I'm gonna take foundation. I can't get over how lightweight this foundation is. I feel like a lot of times you feel or see a very lightweight foundation and you automatically think it's gonna give you a glow, but you can see how nice it sets and you don't have to worry about that glow there. So I'm gonna blend, blend, blend. And for this, I am using the MAC, what brush is this? 170S. It is one of my favorite brushes. It does a great job of really locking in the makeup, blending it beautifully onto the skin, and giving you that gorgeous coverage. Look at that. I will say too, right now, as I'm applying this with a brush, I do feel like it applies beautifully with both a sponge or a brush. I don't think the sponge takes away too much of that product even when it's stamped, so you don't have to worry about that. It just all very nicely blends out. The consistency of this foundation, just the way it feels, reminds me a lot of the Armani Luminous Silk foundation. So if you felt that consistency where it's a very lightweight yet super silky, luxurious type of formula, this is what that feels like. You can't even feel the foundation on the skin. That's how lightweight it is. But yet you get such beautiful coverage. And you can see this side has already set. Very beautiful finish. And this side is just freshly applied. Another thing too, even though it does set to a soft matte finish, you don't have to worry about this drying too fast. Sometimes with some foundations, they dry super fast, so you have to work very quickly with them to blend out. But this blends like butter. It blends very, very seamlessly. You can take your time with it. You don't have to worry about having to blend and blend because it really just goes on perfectly onto the skin. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup, then I'm gonna come back on camera, give you guys my first initial thoughts, and then we can begin this wear test to really see how this foundation is going to hold up todo el día, bonitas. And of course, I'll show you guys the in natural lighting clip, all that good stuff, and then my thoughts out of the day. But just as you guys can see the application of this, which you guys also saw in my full face of all Maybelline products, like this goes on the skin so beautifully. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this face up and ahorita regreso. Okay, bonitas, I am back. Full face of makeup is done, and this is what the new Maybelline Super Stay Foundation looks like. That's what it looks like. It came together very beautifully. I also have to say this formula is really nice. The only place I applied powder was to the under eyes. Everywhere else I left as is because I truly feel like this foundation set so beautifully that I didn't really need to add anything else to the complexion. As for the color, I don't think it oxidizes, which is a really good thing because I feel like sometimes things can oxidize a little bit, but this one doesn't oxidize, so you don't have to worry about that. And then this is what we have going on right now. I also like the fact that it's not enhancing my texture too much. I do have texture, but I feel like sometimes some foundations tend to enhance more than others. I feel like because this is such a lightweight formula, it doesn't do that as much on the skin, which is something that I think all of us really appreciate from a foundation. It is 12:10. So we are gonna be wearing this for the entire day, and I'm gonna come back at the end of the day to give you guys my full thoughts. I'll also do a natural lighting clip like I mentioned earlier, but so far so good. I think it's looking very beautiful on the skin. Doesn't feel like I have anything else. One more thing I do want to point out is I will have the details on this face of makeup down below in my description box. Really quickly though, I am wearing the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Palette 1. I'm also wearing the new, well, the brought back MAC lipstick in Folio and Chestnut lip liner. I will have that all linked down below. But I am loving this vibe for the lips, really am. So I don't know yet if I should do a review and swatches on the new MAC lipsticks, or I could do like a full face of MAC with some of the new lipsticks that I did purchase. So stay tuned for that, and also let me know what you guys want to see because obviously I'm here to serve ustedes. But I am really enjoying this foundation on the skin and it's looking very nice. So I'll be seeing you guys later for that in natural lighting clip. Here's the in natural lighting clip with the foundation on the skin. It looks so beautiful on the complexion. Very, very skin-like. But yet you do get that soft matte finish where there isn't too much luminosity, but it's not matte and flat, which I always appreciate. Pueden ver así, and also the texture doesn't look too intense. I feel like sometimes certain foundations can bring out the texture, but this one definitely just makes the skin look really nice, and you cannot see any of the imperfections coming through. Like, it just looks so good, bonitas. Okay, bonitas, I'll see you later for my final thoughts. I am back. Right now it is 10:16 p.m. and this is what the makeup looks like using the new Maybelline Super Stay foundation. Como pueden ver, it looks really nice. It held up really well for the entire day. Sorry, my dog is trying to play right now. Every time I get on camera, he wants to play. As you can see, this is what the foundation looks like. We do have a little bit of dewiness, but it's nothing too intense where it's like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of oil. I feel like it looks good overall, but I also really like the fact that this stayed in place all throughout the face. You can see it still is looking really nice in place, even though it is, like I said, 10:17 at night. I mean, we wore this for pretty much the entire day and it's looking so good. So I am very impressed with this new Maybelline foundation. But honestly, I'm not shocked because Maybelline's foundations do not disappoint. And I love the fact that they always have something for everybody. So all of my bonitas can find something that they really like. But I do think that this new Superstay foundation is definitely one to check out, especially if you're looking for a new foundation on a budget that does offer that matte finish, but not like overly matte and flat, more so like skin-like matte. So I'm definitely getting those vibes out of this right here, and I'm really liking how it looks because I do still think the skin looks like it's one with the foundation instead of something laying over top of the skin and just giving you very like intense full coverage results. So I really do appreciate that from this foundation. So let me know your thoughts about this. Is this something that you would check out? Because I think this is something I would recommend para ustedes. So let me know your thoughts down below. And if you guys are watching this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know to continue doing estos videos para ustedes. Let me know what type of videos you want to see next, and I can go ahead and do that para mis bonitas. But I think that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. Y nos vemos pronto. Adiós, bonitas.